Our Torah portion this week is Parashat Vayetze, and I will be talking a little more about it later in our service. But this part of our Torah, these early stories of Genesis, have so many recognizable moments. And this week is no exception. We have Jacob's ladder in this week's Torah portion. And so the scene goes that Jacob is fleeing his brother Esau. He's on the run. He's trying to get away. And like any fugitive, he needs to find a safe space to sleep for the evening. So he finds a rock. He places his head on it. He is so exhausted from his journey thus far, falls asleep, and in his slumber awakens to this ladder that we all know the story, or we all can picture the scene. We've all heard about it, with angels going up and down, up and down, up and down. And Jacob's response is, wow, surely God is in this place, and I did not know it. How awesome! How awesome is this place? Okay, so this scene is really beautiful. I'll talk about it more in my Devar Torah. But it reminds me, especially I love that it's coming this week, the week of Thanksgiving. It reminds me that sometimes we are in our slumbers like Jacob, right? We are going about our daily lives. We are busy. We are kind of asleep to the beauty and the miracles around us. And every moment, even those where we are kind of asleep, every moment can be a real awakening, a time where we can open our eyes and say, wow, how awesome is this place. We're going to take a moment now for what we call in our service Hazarat HaShavua, which is a moment of reflection on the week that has passed so that we can ready our souls for the week that is ahead. And I invite you in this short amount of time to think about what it is in your life that maybe you are asleep to, right? The blessings that abound that might be so easy to overlook. And yet you can open your eyes just a little bit wider and say, wow, how awesome is this life that I get to lead and this world that I get to be in. And hopefully this Shabbat, you can take the next 25 hours to really see them and appreciate them and just enjoy. So we'll take a few moments to think on that. We'll turn now to page 20 for Lachado D as we welcome in this Shabbat spirit to our space.
Lachado D likrat kala penei Shabbat nekabela. Welcome the Shabbat bride. בואי ושלום, עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובשולה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We stay standing right where we are for Baruch Hu, our call to worship, page 28.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may all be seated. We'll turn now to page 34 for Shema. This prayer where we get to just hear the unity of our voices, all singing together as one. And we hear our voices kind of going along with the sound of the space that we're in. And it reminds us that we're all connected. And not only are we connected to each other, but we're connected to the air that's swirling around us and the animals that fill our world and just all of the creatures and creations that God has bestowed upon us. So we think about that. You might want to close your eyes, cover them, whatever, to focus on the real unity that we feel in this moment. Page 34.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
We'll turn now to Ve'ahavta, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
We'll turn now to page 40 for Micha Mocha, the song of our redemption. It's a time for us to think about what does a redeemed world even look like, right? For the Israelites in this moment, it was them crossing the sea, getting toward freedom, which actually they had no concept of what that even meant. And it was quite a scary moment for them because they were in this new life, this new existence where they weren't being told what to eat every day and what to do every day and how to fill their hours. So the question for us as we sing Micha Mocha is, what does redemption look like for us? New moments, new crossings can be a bit scary, right? It's not always miracles. It's not always sunshine and rainbows, but how can we find the courage that our ancient ancestors did and march forward even when it's a bit overwhelming? So we're on page 40.
Micha Mocha Ba'elim Adonai Micha Mocha Nedar B'Kodesh Norah Tehilot Osei Felet Norah Malchutecha ra'uvanecha bokayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam Seili anu ve'ameru Adonai Imlo Leolam Va'en Adonai and we sing Yai Lai Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai Yai Lai 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 Yai Lai Lai Lai.
We're going to take time now in our service to think about those in our lives, those in our community and our wider world who could use a prayer for healing. So we'll think about them and offer prayers for our body healing, our spiritual healing, and healing of the mind. We'll start by singing together. We're on page 253. And then in the middle, I'll come around and you can just share the name of who you might be thinking of. And then we'll close again by singing together once again.
Misheverach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen.
Zoe Greenberg, Karen Alexander, Judy Fenton, Emmett Corwin, Bonnie and Erwin Sussman, Mickey Blake, Ruben Boxer.
Eliezer Abraham, Pamela Abraham, Joan Abrams, Karen Altman, Bracha Liba Bat Reuven Chaim, Jill Kahn, Taylor Carter, Marge Churchick, Woody Clark, Rabbi Jerry Ram Cutler, Yaakov Ben Yitzchak, Gemma Del Duca, Eitan Chaim, Elisheva Chava Bat Zalman Haran Leah Miriam, Ella Tzipora Bat Naphtali Ephraim Vitziril, Judy Fenton, Jean Furbach, Shir Gaon, Lisa Gilman Shanzer, John Gearhart, Danny Gold, Eric Innocenti, Renee Kumitz, Sherry Linder, Nahum Laser Ben Yaakov, Shayna Lombardo, Sheila Merowitz, Howard Rosen, Ruvain Ben Mordechai Ben Nechama, Nathan Sable, Lindy Sobel, Marvin Sobel, Mabuba Suleimani, Rose Ugolnik, Helena Wachtel, Yehudit Bat Nechama Ben Mordechai, Howard Zellico, and Brian and Linda Zussman.
Mishebera imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
I'll invite everyone to please rise now as we get ready to recite our Amidah prayer. We'll start on page 46, asking God to open up our lips for prayer. We'll do this together, and then we'll take time for our own silent prayers. You can use the words that continue in your prayer book, or you may use the words of your own heart. And whenever you are finished, you may be seated.
Adonai tzvatai tiftach. Adonai tzvatai tiftach. Ufi yagi tehilatecha. Ufi yagid tehilatecha.
Every few weeks, I have the opportunity to lead Broadway Shabbat, the Jewish Broadway Alliance Broadway Shabbat. I know the Fortmans are always watch. And anybody can watch. It's at 3 p.m. on Fridays, and I do every few weeks. And on top of singing Misha Berach, today it was the perfect opportunity to say that this song, Grateful, written by a musical theater writer, John Bocchino, has become like, Bill and I have done this for years, maybe a dozen years, have sang Grateful. And it's definitely become my tradition on the weekend of Thanksgiving to just realize that in our own daily prayers, we incorporate prayers of thanks all the time, especially Modim Anachnu Lach. And so this tonight will be our Modim, our song of gratitude. I've got a roof over my head. I've got a warm place to sleep. Some nights I lie awake counting gifts instead of counting sheep. I've got a heart that can hold love. I've got a mind that can think. There may be times when I lose the light and let my spirit sink, but I can't stay depressed when I remember how I'm blessed. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. In a city of strangers, I've got a family of friends. No matter what rocks and brambles fill the way, I know that they will stay until the end. I feel a hand holding my hand. It's not a hand you can see, but on the road to the promised land, this hand will shepherd me through delight and despair, holding tight and always there. Grateful, grateful, truly grateful I am. Grateful, grateful, truly blessed and duly grateful. Truly blessed and duly grateful.
Shabbat Shalom. This week, as I already shared, we are reading our Torah portion, Vayetze. And in it, we meet our patriarch Jacob at a moment of profound vulnerability. After deceiving his brother Esau and taking both the birthright and the blessing of the firstborn, Jacob learns that Esau now wants to kill him. Esau, his brother, is very angry. There's a lot of sibling drama in Genesis. His mother, Rebekah, urges him to flee to her family in Haran. And so Jacob sets out alone, uncertain, and emotionally overwhelmed. Put yourself in Jacob's shoes. How might he feel? Certainly Alyssa has an answer, yeah. Her hand is raised. Certainly he is afraid. Perhaps he's carrying guilt or regret for how he has treated his brother. I imagine he feels the sting of realizing that all of the blessings that have now entered his life only were made possible at great personal cost. It is precisely at this moment when Jacob's inner world is in turmoil that the Torah tells us, Jacob came upon a certain place and stopped there for the night. He dreamed. A ladder was set on the ground, its top reaching the heavens, with messengers of God ascending and descending on it. And God said, remember, Jacob, I am with you. I will protect you wherever you go. I am God, and I will not leave you. Awestruck, Jacob opens his eyes and declares, how awesome is this place? What's remarkable about this scene is how seamlessly the physical and the spiritual worlds seem to intertwine. First, the Torah repeatedly uses the word makom. On the surface, this word makom means place, yet it is also one of the many names we have for God. Jacob believes he has stumbled upon an ordinary location, but he is actually encountering God's presence itself. Then there's the word sulam, ladder. It's often translated as ladder, except we don't actually know how it should be accurately translated because it is something called a hapax legomenon, a word that appears only once in the entire Torah. So we translate it as ladder, but we have nothing to compare it to. We don't actually know. Why introduce such a singular, mysterious image, a ladder stretching from earth to heaven? What is the Torah trying to tell us? Finally, the angels, Olim veYordim, they ascend and they descend. But aren't angels supposed to be messengers of God? Do they really need a ladder to climb up to the heavens? Or is the Torah hinting at something deeper? Taken together, these details suggest that Jacob is undergoing two journeys at once. His physical flight from home mirrors a spiritual movement, an ascent toward awareness, toward God, toward a deeper understanding of who he is and who he might become. The Torah, a women's commentary, puts it beautifully. The ladder serves as a bridge between heaven and earth upon which angels ascend and descend, thus indicating the dialogic nature of communication between the two realms. Thus, Jacob has begun a double journey, a dream journey toward increasing proximity to God, parallels his physical wanderings across the horizontal plane of space. When Jacob wakes up, nothing in the physical landscape has actually changed at all. But he himself has changed. His vision has shifted. Suddenly, he sees holiness in the very same place where moments earlier he just felt lonely and afraid and did something as mundane as falling asleep. And then, in this place, how awesome, he declares. This is one of the most powerful teachings of Jacob's story. Our spiritual perception has the ability to actually transform how we experience the physical world. Like Jacob, each of us lives in this physical world with its demands, its routines, its challenges, things like traffic and lines and getting up to the front of the line and they don't even have what you need. All these annoying things that happen on the daily basis. But we also have the capacity to build our own ladders, to anchor ourselves in the spiritual alongside the physical. One of the most beautiful tools that Judaism gives us for doing this is gratitude, grateful. We begin each morning with Mo'da Ani, declaring, I give thanks before you, God, for restoring my soul to me with compassion. When we place gratitude at the threshold of our day, we begin with a sense of abundance rather than scarcity, connection rather than fear. We climb even a little further up toward heaven than when we first woke up. Psychologist Robert A. Emmons writes, we've studied more than 1,000 people from ages 8 to 80 and found that people who practice gratitude consistently report a host of benefits. The social benefits are especially significant here because, after all, gratitude is a social emotion. We acknowledge that other people, or even higher powers, if you're of a spiritual mindset, gave us many gifts, big and small, to help us achieve the goodness in our lives. Explaining this in Jewish terms, Rabbi Jonathan Sachs wrote about Parshat Vayetze, and he said that for him, prayer is a ladder stretching from earth to heaven. On this ladder of words, thoughts, and emotions, we move from the world perceived by the senses to an awareness of that which lies beyond, to an awareness of the earth's creator. As we celebrate this Shabbat of Thanksgiving, may we remember the ladders that are available to each and every one of us. May we cultivate the spiritual practices, especially gratitude, that elevate our physical lives. And may we, like Jacob, learn to see the places where we already stand, and may we see them as gateways to the holy. Stretch ourselves a little bit to see them in that beautiful way. Shabbat Shalom and happy Thanksgiving. We will begin to close our service now by reciting Aleinu. We're on page 282, and we'll be singing the version at the top of the page. And I'll invite you to all please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'tet gedula leotzer bereshit, shehu noten shamayim ve'yoser haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchina tuzo begove meromim, hu Eloheinu einod, v'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. 287. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo
I'll be seated. We'll get ready to close our service now by bringing into this space the memory of those in our who were in our lives but no longer here physically with us. And we'll get ready to say our mourner's Kaddish. But first, if you're here in a period of mourning, you'll have the opportunity to share with all of us the name of whoever you may be remembering. So if you're here in the first 7 days of mourning, I'll invite you to rise now and share the name of who you might be remembering. Yeah. If you're here in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days of mourning, I'll invite you to rise now and share that name of who you might be remembering. Tonight, our temple community is remembering Polly Hammer, Sam Berkowitz, Ronnie Casorla, Chuck Wilson, and Jerry Shapiro.
And Alan R. Cohen.
And if you are here in the first year of mourning, I'll invite you to rise now and share who you might be remembering.
We also have all of the names on the screen if you're online or in the room.
So tonight, if you're here observing a yard site, I'll invite you to rise now and share the name of who you might be remembering. And tonight, our temple community is remembering Marshall Albert Appel, Norma Bice, Lillian Bloomberg, Max Friedman, Edward Goldberg, Jack Kasner, Theodore Newman, Marla Seff, Robert Wharton, and as Cantor Weiss said, we have all of the yard site names from our community up on our screen over here.
And also I would like to add Dr. John Stolzheimer and Angela.
And with that, I'll invite everyone to rise as one community for all those who have nobody to say Kaddish for them. And we recite our prayer together on page 294.
And I want to make sure to add a name for Dana, her father, Marshall Albert Appel.
Yitgadal v'yikadash shemei Rabbah, ba'almad zivrach cheruteh v'amlich malchuteh, b'hayachon uv'yomechon uv'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipar v'yitromam v'yitnatseh, v'yithadar v'yithaleh v'yithalal shmei dekodesha brechu, le'elah min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nehemata, damiram be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Osei shalom bimromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru, amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all of Israel, and to our world. And together we say, amen.
You may be seated. So a couple announcements. First of all, join us tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. We'll be here leading services. And also next Friday, Rabbi Aaron and all of us will be here for Shabbat Unplugged. So if you haven't been to Unplugged in a while, well, you haven't in 4 weeks. I haven't been because I was on sabbatical, so I'm looking forward to it. And then right after that, a week from Saturday, we have our Sound Bath Havdalah. Who's been there before? It's worth it, right? It's so good. So please join us at 6:30. You can bring friends, and it's just such a wonderful way to end Shabbat. It's beautiful. Around the same time, December 8th at 5 p.m. Wait, that's not the right date. Which one's the Saturday? December 6th. Okay, so the same day. Oh, this thing is going crazy. No, it's right before the Sisterhood Havdalah is right before the Sound Bath. So what's that Saturday?
December 6th.
It's the 6th. Okay, so before you join us for Havdalah, join the Sisterhood for Stop and Smell the Spices, honoring, I meant to call Sharon, but her beloved Roy had created this program. We're sort of just stealing the name, and we're going to come together as a sisterhood and make Havdalah sets that we can then use at Havdalah. We're going to have like a wine tasting, and we're going to make our own like spice bags, and trying to make candles. We'll see how that. Oh, I know what we're going to do. We're going to make our own sets of Hanukkah candles. Not Havdalah candles, but Hanukkah candles, because we'll need it the next. I know. The beeswax yeah, we're going to. Luckily, Rabbi Alvin is here. Thank you. A lot of people have been welcoming me back home from Morocco. It was a trip of a lifetime that I hope to take you all on. And I hope that you'll join me this coming Tuesday and the following Tuesday for a light class going into a deep history of Morocco. And who here has actually studied the history of Jewish Morocco? Anyone? See, this is what Penny has? Okay. Of course, Penny. All right. But there's a lot to know, and I would love to share this information with you. And I think it's that Morocco is almost as important as Israel in many ways. So I did ride a camel. I wasn't going to because my camel riding in Israel was not my most fun thing. But due to a series of circumstances, someone else couldn't ride, so I was like, all right, I'll get on. And it wasn't like like in Israel, you go for like a block and back. This was like 25 minutes. It was intense. My camel was misbehaving, so I had to be moved to the front. Anyways. So this next weekend is Shabbat Unplugged. The following weekend is Shabbat Spark. Alyssa's going to be singing her heart out and dancing too. So please join us. 5:30 dinner, 6:15 services. Hanukkah. So much. 8 days of Hanukkah. You want to say something about that?
Yeah. This, okay, so... Oh, we fixed it. Amazing. I'm just going to read what's on here. It was wrong when I first entered Temple today. Okay, so on 12/14, we're having our community candle lighting and party. It's not just the lighting. We're going to have food and bounce houses and activities for all ages. But it's at 4 p.m., so you can come, join us, and then go off to your celebrations later at your own homes. So we did it intentionally like that. 12/16, that's a Tuesday night with YoPro. We are doing a Hanukkah cookie decorating and happy hour event here in the chapel, right where we are. It'll be a lot of fun. Then on 12/18, Chai Village, LA, we're having our Hanukkah party at Temple Isaiah. We already have 100 people signed up. I think there are still spaces. We would love to see you there if you're part of the village. And then 12/19, LA Oneg service. It's a beautiful, like, candlelit musical. My favorite music we always do at LA Oneg. Love that. On 12/19, and then 12/24, little after Hanukkah, but we're having our latkes and lo mein concert and dinner.
It is on Christmas Eve, or otherwise known as latkes and lo mein Eve, for Temple Emanuel, and it's delicious and always good. Last year we had our album release. This year, I don't know, maybe we can do some karaoke or something.
I'm sure we can find music for.
You think we can find music?
Positive.
I don't know. We'll see. Believe it or not, that is it. I want to thank our executive director, Sarah Heiner, who just went back. She's running all the sound. Bill Schmidt, my heart, he's here. And thank you to everyone. I hope everyone had like a really wonderful Thanksgiving. And I know it's been a difficult week for some, but I hope that you found some comfort being here tonight. So we're going to close with like the oldest version of Adon Olam that I could possibly find. This is my new Thanksgiving tradition, being grateful for old music. So Adon Olam is on page, I think, 321. Yep, 321. And then in advance, I want to say thank you to Sarah for making our challah. Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that until you taste it. But we'll go dance back there.
Sure, it's delicious.
Yes. Here we go, Adon Olam. Adon Olam Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yetzir Nivra Le'et Nasa B'cheso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nigra Ve'acharei Hichlot HaKol Levado Yimloch Nora Ve'hu Haya Ve'hu Hoveh Ve'hu Yiyeh B'tifara Ve'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehabria Beli Reshit Beli Tachlit Ve'lo Ha'oz Ve'lo Ha'mira. Last verse. Be'yado Afkid Ruchi Be'eti Shan Be'ayira Ve'yimruchi Geviati Adonai Li Ve'lo Ira. Shabbat Shalom.